Okay, hello everybody, and thank you for joining me today at this session. I'm going to present you a really cool and interesting topic that you may put into use right after the presentation is finished. I'm not going to promise you a supercars, Lamborghinis, and stuff like that. I'm just going to promise you a real stable, open source blockchain development tool. But first of all, I have a couple of questions for you. Does anybody here try to develop an Ethereum smart contract? Okay, really cool. How many of you tried to deploy it on the mainnet, on the Ethereum mainnet? Really cool. How many of you tried to deploy it without a framework or a tool?
What do you mean by framework? Is Truffle a framework or not?
Yeah, it's framework or tool. Yeah. So you're using Truffle?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I used to use Truffle before, but today I'm going to present you Etherlime. It's an open source blockchain development framework, or you can call it just a tool that saves developers' lives. But to understand why I'm sitting here in front of you talking about blockchain, let me first introduce myself and our company. My name is Sugnian Chikov, and I'm software developer at LimeChain. Here you can find my contacts, so do not hesitate to contact me if you have further questions about Etherlime. So, LimeChain is located in Bulgaria, and we are here with our CTO, Chris, over there, so say hi to Chris. And we are a blockchain consulting and development company, and we provide services for private and public blockchain development, smart contracts development and audit, crowd sale services, and etc. We also have plenty of blockchain-related products, and you can see some of them over here. We have a Lime tracker that is a solution for how to say, it's a solution, a very good solution for supply chain traceability and transparency. We have LimePay, which is a solution for executing Ethereum transactions with fiat money. And of course, we have Etherlime, that is development tool targeting developers in the Ethereum realm that you know how to use right after this presentation. Before we proceed with the main topics for today, let me introduce you our collaboration channels that I encourage you to join, so you can follow us and you can understand the really hot news about Etherlime. First of all, you can see our Telegram community group where you can join and face-to-face and chat with the developers that are standing behind Etherlime. You can chat directly with me and the people from our development team that is standing behind Etherlime. New members in the community are more than welcome. You can ask us everything regarding Etherlime or regarding blockchain development. We have a YouTube channel where you can follow us. You can find there useful videos of how-tos or also Ethereum blockchain news. We have a Telegram group that I encourage you to follow us in Twitter group. Also, you can find our GitHub repository where you can join, open an issue, or open a pull request for a feature that you need. And at the end, you can see our document page where you can find our docs of Etherlime, how to use and what exactly is Etherlime and all the extended features. But first of all, let me answer you what is Etherlime. As I said, Etherlime is open source blockchain development tool that is based on Ether's JS library. But how Etherlime was born? Etherlime was born because of all other buggy tools that are based on Web3.js library. Etherlime adds something really valuable for the developers. It adds verboseness during the whole process of development and deploy. What does it mean? It means that every time you execute a command in the command line interface, you know exactly what is happening behind the scenes. We have a verboseness during the whole process. You know what exactly is happening in order to support your development and to know where exactly you are in the middle of the process. Etherlime also is really valuable because it's really small and easy to install. Why developers might use Etherlime? Developers use Etherlime because it's a framework or tool that makes you in the process and using a single tool during the whole process. You don't have to search a tool for compiling your smart contracts. You don't have to search a tool for developing your smart contract, or you don't have to search a tool for deploying your smart contracts. What Etherlime can do for us? Etherlime can set up a project for us, and for me as a developer, this is really important. As I'm starting using a new technology, I always spend a couple of hours searching for how to set up the project, how to make the environments, and how to do all the stuff that I can start on. Etherlime can do this for you by just writing a single command, and I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. I have a demo for you prepared. So I'm going to show you really in live how you can set up your project for just a second. Etherlime can compile our smart contracts. Something more, if you go into the documentation, you can see all the extended options for the compilation. You can use different SOC versions, you can compile different smart contracts, you can compile even smart contracts that are not loaded in your project. Etherlime also can deploy our smart contracts, and you can deploy just with a single command. Something more, Etherlime can run a local blockchain development network for you that you can test all of your smart contracts. This can be done, again, with a single command. Something more, this local blockchain development network comes with 10 static accounts that every time you're starting this blockchain network, they're the same, so you can use it in your projects. You don't have to change private keys and addresses, and these accounts are full loaded with billions of ethers. This is really useful when you're making a project for ICO and you have to test it, for example. You don't have to worry that you will run out of ethers. You have 10 prepared accounts with billions of ethers loaded. Etherlime can test your code. You can run unit tests as you can run unit tests and write unit tests as you can write unit tests for all of your other projects. Etherlime has a cloud coverage option, so you can check what is your cloud coverage. That is really useful for developing smart contracts. The main benefits of Etherlime are that you have a single tool doing all of this stuff. You don't have to browse through the tools and use different tools for all of these steps. Something more, it's stable. We have more than 96% cloud coverage of the library. If you go in the GitHub page, you can see these numbers. So it's open source. All of you can participate in the development, so we encourage you to join us in our community groups, open issues, comment about some features that you need. We encourage that. Also, one of the biggest main benefit is that actually you can use it for all of your Ethereum projects. As soon as we are planning to release some cool features that I'm going to comment after the demo, and you will see what are the really main benefits of Etherlime. The features. So I'm going to present you how to install Etherlime just with a single command. I'm sorry, how to init a project. I have already installed it, but you can install it with just a single command. Just run npm install Etherlime with a global flag, and depends on the network connection here and your hardware speed, you will have Etherlime in just a few seconds. So I'm going to present you how to initialize a project, and I'm going to comment what this project has. You will see that the initialized project has everything for you needed to just start developing Ethereum smart contracts. I have an empty folder here prepared for the demo. You can see that it's empty. I'm going to write the Etherlime init command, and you will see the verboseness process that I told you earlier. It's really working here. You see what is happening all the time in the console. Depends from the internet connection. It may spend some time. We hope to be really fast. Okay, I will wait 10 more seconds, and if the internet is still so bad, I have already generated another project that is prepared for you if the internet fails.
Stuff going on, you can see at the top of the screen there.
Yeah, it's okay. We're here. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Now I'm opening the already generated project with Etherlime. So you can see we have a couple of stuff here. First of all, what are you going to have? We have a contract folder. Looks really interesting. I have a contracts folder already, so I don't have to think where I have to put my contracts. Maybe they will go here. And I have a Lime Factory contract. Interesting. I have a really finished contract that is ready to be tested, compiled, and deployed. Okay, cool. I have a deployment folder where I have a deploy.js script. Here you can see that I have already a deployment scenario. This is the file that you can put your deployment scenarios. For example, maybe I will have to zoom a little bit, and I will hide this one. You can see that I have a deployment scenario that I'm making a deployer that is a new instance from Etherlime Ganache deployer. What this deployer does? This deployer knows about your local network, your local blockchain network that you can run with a single command. How you can run this blockchain network? I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to open a new tab. I'm going to write Etherlime Ganache command. You will see that I started a blockchain local development network that is running already on a local host with this port number, and I have 10 predefined accounts ready to be used. Something more, this Etherlime Ganache deployer knows about this network on this port, so you can deploy your smart contract with just a single command. By default, it uses the first account, but if you go into the documentation, you can see all the different extended features that you can give to this deployer and these networks. You can start this blockchain network on whatever port you want, and you can make your deployer to deploy on whatever port you need, and using whatever of the 10 accounts you need. So this is for the deployment scenarios scripts. I have a test folder that you can see here, and it's really cool for me that I have just an example test file where I can see that I have already test scenarios about my smart contract. So as you can see, this is a good starting point for you to start developing an Ethereum smart contract. Something more, you have everything here prepared to be compiled, tested, and deployed. And I'm going to show you how. First of all, I'm going to compile my smart contract. I'm going to write Etherlime compile. And you can see the verboseness process. My compilation finished successful. I'm going to deploy my smart contract using just the default settings, and I'm going to deploy it on my local blockchain network. Okay, you can see the verboseness process and the report after the deployment script finished successfully. You can see that my contract with name Lime Factory has been deployed successfully, I have the transaction hash and I have the result that is really the address of the smart contract. Something more. Example that for example, imagine that I'm closing this now. It's finished the deployment script, and I'm closing it, and I'm going to home. And then I start to think, oh, what was my address of the smart contract? This is my local network, but for example, imagine that I'm deploying through our favorite Infura service to the mainnet or to some of the remote test networks. I can, every time I want, I can show this report by Etherlime history command. We have an Etherlime history command that you can see all of your report, all of your deployments that have been done successfully. I'm going to test my smart contracts locally with a single command, Etherlime test. So this will run my unit tests. Hopefully, they finished successfully. And I'm going to show you the coverage command. So as soon as coverage command is completed, you will see again a report with all of your code coverage numbers. Oh, hopefully I have 100 from 100. Good. So here, imagine that I don't want to deploy on my local Ganache network. We at Etherlime have different kind of Etherlime deployers, so they are ready to use for you, no matter if you want to deploy through Infura service on the mainnet or to the remote test networks. We have prepared for you a couple of different deployers. Okay. Now I want to talk about a little bit about the future development. We are going to release really soon two really important features. The first feature is that we are going to provide for our users a ready-to-use decentralized applications out of the box. What I mean? I mean that you will type a single command in the command line interface, and you will get a really working decentralized application using a really cool use case, a game, a blockchain game, or a blockchain decentralized application that is ready to use. So you will have a front-end application with your favorite front-end framework, no matter it will be Angular or React or something else that you love. You will have predefined, out-of-the-box, ready-to-use decentralized applications. The second really cool feature that we are going to release is being able to debug transactions with transaction hash. So imagine that you're using some other kind of library, for example, a Web3.js library, and your transaction is failed. In order and failing a transaction, if you have a transaction hash, you can start debug your transaction and your smart contract using just this transaction hash. Now I have a special challenge for you, for all of you. Please scan this QR code with your phones. This will lead you to a GitHub repository. In this GitHub repository, you will find a README with step-by-step what you have to do to experience Etherlime. We have for you a generated project with really cool featured smart contract that is making a deposit. It's like a bank deposit. We have for you the unit tests, and we have the challenge for you to write an in-row function in the smart contract, in-row method. So this in-row method would give to the first 3 people who are deposited to this smart contract additional ethers. In the README, you will find everything you need step by step described. So I encourage you, whenever you feel free and you want to start using Etherlime, please enter in our GitHub repository using this QR code and do the repository and do the challenge. At the end of the steps, you will find that you have to join our Telegram community group, and you will have to post your smart contract address. So I assume that you will develop and deploy your smart contract using some of the remote testnets, no matter is it Rinky Kovan or FOSDEM. Now it's time for questions and answers.
Any questions?
Yes, over there?
Wait for the microphone, please.
Thank you. Why do you need internet to init a project?
Because we are installing SOC library.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you wrap Ganache?
We wrap the ganache, but we extend the ganache because we need more money in our accounts, and we are making our own 10 predefined accounts that are full with ethers, different number of ethers than the ordinary ganache.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Hopefully I will see you in the community. Do not hesitate to contact me.